Snakes are an essential part of our world, whether we realize it or not, and even if we don't want to admit it, the snakes we occasionally encounter are usually small and don't represent the greatest danger you could see in your backyard, depending on where you live. However, this doesn't mean you should underestimate snakes. After all, they can be extremely venomous, and some can grow so large that they could swallow an entire person and be several times the size of your body. In other words, snakes can be incredibly powerful when they want to be. With that in mind, here are the 20 most powerful snakes in the world. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Now let's begin. Number 1. Eastern copperhead, the snake that could transform medicine. Among the most fascinating and enigmatic snakes on the planet, the eastern copperhead stands out for a rare combination of beauty, venom, and scientific potential. Native to forests, rocky areas, and temperate regions of East Asia, this species belongs to the Viperidae family, known for venomous snakes with adaptive behaviors. Despite its relatively modest size, the eastern copperhead exudes a striking presence. Its triangular head, alert eyes, and metallic coloration, which ranges from copper to bronze to gold, give the snake an aura of mystery and natural power. Observing this snake, it is impossible not to be impressed by the evolutionary perfection of its form and structure. Every detail of its body, from smooth scales to the musculature that enables quick and precise movements, reflects millions of years of adaptation. The shape of the head, wide at the base and tapered at the tip, allows for efficient venom injection through its fangs, which are used only when necessary, whether for hunting or defense. Its metallic coloration is not merely aesthetic, it functions as camouflage in rocky environments and among dry leaves, making it harder for predators or prey to detect. The venom of the eastern copperhead is what draws the most scientific attention. Although dangerous to humans, causing severe symptoms if immediate medical care is not provided, its potency is not as lethal as some of the world's deadliest snakes, such as the black mamba or the inland taipan. Curiously, this makes the species even more interesting for biomedical research. Venom that is strong enough to act on specific cells and tissues, yet controllable, offers unique investigative opportunities. In recent years, laboratories and universities have begun exploring the venom of this species for potential applications in cancer treatment. Early research has shown that certain peptides in the venom can interfere with the growth and spread of tumor cells. Especially in experimental mouse models, tests indicate that specific proteins in the venom can induce apoptosis or program cell death in cancer cells and alter molecular mechanisms that facilitate metastasis. The potential is extraordinary. The same substance that evolved to paralyze prey could, under controlled conditions, save human lives. Imagine the idea that a snake's venom, traditionally feared, could become a revolutionary medicine. For scientists, the eastern copperhead represents living proof that nature holds solutions to challenges we have not yet fully solved. Each drop of venom is a complex mixture of proteins, enzymes, and toxins, each with precise functions that together ensure the snake's survival and could potentially assist in innovative medical treatments. Beyond its potential use in oncology, the eastern copperhead's venom has been studied in other biomedical contexts. Preliminary experiments suggest applications in cardiovascular disorders, blood coagulation, and neurological diseases, thanks to certain compounds' ability to modulate specific cellular signals. Each study reveals new layers of complexity, showing that even relatively common animals can hide highly sophisticated biochemical secrets. From an ecological perspective, the eastern copperhead plays a fundamental role in its habitat. It primarily feeds on small mammals, birds, and amphibians, regulating their populations and maintaining ecosystem balance. Without natural predators, the snake also relies on venom to quickly capture prey, ensuring energy efficiency in competitive environments. At the same time, it is occasionally preyed upon by birds of prey and larger mammals, reinforcing its position in the delicate balance of the food chain. The species' behavior is worth studying. Despite being venomous, the eastern copperhead is generally cautious, avoiding unnecessary confrontations with humans or larger animals. It prefers to use camouflage, silent movements, and quick escapes, resorting to venom only when there is no alternative. This behavior highlights the evolutionary balance between defense and energy preservation, one of the reasons the species has survived for millions of years in densely forested and rocky regions. Historically, human interaction with snakes in East Asia has been long and complex. Ancient records document the use of snake toxins in traditional medicine, often in preparations aimed at treating pain, inflammation, and even serious illnesses. The eastern copperhead fits into this context, serving as a bridge between ancestral knowledge and modern scientific research. Today, with technologies such as molecular biology, mass spectrometry, and cellular assays, it is possible to analyze every component of the venom in detail, creating a precise map of its therapeutic potential. Furthermore, studies of the venom show that it contains various types of toxins with distinct functions. Some directly affect muscle or nerve cells in prey, others interfere with blood coagulation, and a group of peptides acts specifically on abnormal cells, such as tumor cells. The complexity is so great that each study raises new questions, and each discovery can take years of testing before any clinical application. Fascination with the eastern copperhead is not limited to science. For biologists, photographers, and nature enthusiasts, observing this snake is a fully immersive experience. The combination of metallic coloration, fluid movements, and silent presence creates an almost mystical aura. Each interaction in its natural habitat allows a better understanding of how seemingly dangerous species play essential roles in maintaining biodiversity, reminding us that fear can often be replaced by respect and admiration. Ecologically, its preservation is crucial. Habitat destruction due to urbanization, agriculture, and deforestation threatens not only the eastern copperhead, but the entire ecosystem it inhabits. Losing a species with such extraordinary medicinal potential would be an incalculable loss for humanity, reinforcing the importance of environmental and conservation policies focused on protecting species and their natural habitats. From a scientific standpoint, the eastern copperhead's venom represents one of the most promising frontiers of modern biomedicine. Studying its toxins combines herpetology, biochemistry, oncology, and pharmacology, showing that nature, when understood with care and respect, offers solutions no human technology could create alone. The future may hold innovative treatments derived from a tiny and seemingly dangerous animal, transforming fear into hope. In short, the eastern copperhead is much more than a venomous snake. It is a symbol of the connection between nature, science, and medicine, reminding us that every living being may contain powerful secrets. Its venom, developed over millions of years to capture prey and protect the species, has the potential to become a weapon in the fight against serious diseases like cancer. Studying this snake teaches humility, patience, and admiration, showing that even the most feared organisms can be sources of healing and inspiration. Observing the eastern copperhead in its natural habitat is an experience that blends science, aesthetics, and contemplation, demonstrating that nature never ceases to amaze. This snake is simultaneously predator, ecosystem guardian, and promise of future medicine, a reminder that sometimes the key to great advances can be found in the most unexpected and tiny forms of life. Number 2, the rhinoceros viper, beauty and danger in one creature. Among the most impressive snakes in the world, the rhinoceros viper stands out for its unique combination of fascinating appearance and adaptive abilities. It gets its name from its rough, scaly skin, which resembles the thick texture of a rhinoceros, giving it a robust and resilient look. However, upon closer observation, the rhinoceros viper is much more than an intimidating creature. Its skin displays complex patterns, varied tones, and textures that can range from gray to reddish brown, creating a visual spectacle that perfectly combines camouflage with natural beauty. These patterns are not merely decorative, they serve crucial functions in forest and rocky environments, allowing the snake to go unnoticed by both prey and predators. What makes this species even more fascinating is its adaptability. The rhinoceros viper is extremely versatile and can thrive in various habitats: tall trees, forest floors, or humid areas near rivers and swamps. This ecological flexibility means it can find food and shelter almost anywhere within its distribution, which includes tropical regions of Central and Eastern Africa. This adaptive ability also makes the rhinoceros viper a resilient species and difficult to study, as it can quickly disappear into vegetation, demonstrating remarkable intelligence and discretion for a snake. Although adaptable and fascinating, the rhinoceros viper is a venomous predator. Its venom, while not among the deadliest in the snake world, is effective enough to paralyze small prey such as rodents, birds, and amphibians. For humans, a bite can cause intense pain, localized swelling, nausea, and discomfort, but it is rarely fatal with proper medical treatment. The viper's venom is a complex mixture of enzymes, toxins, and proteins that act on the nervous and circulatory systems of its prey, ensuring rapid and safe capture while minimizing the risk of serious injury to the snake itself during hunting. The rhinoceros viper's behavior is another noteworthy aspect. Despite its venom, it is not aggressive by nature. It prefers to avoid confrontations with humans and large predators, relying on camouflage, silent movements, and quick escapes when threatened. However, if cornered, it can display impressive defensive behaviors, coiling its body, raising its head, and emitting hisses or warning sounds, making it clear that it is ready to use its venom if necessary. This combination of discretion and active defense shows how evolution has shaped the species to survive in complex and challenging environments. Another fascinating aspect of the rhinoceros viper is its adaptive intelligence during hunting. It employs a highly effective strategy, approaching prey silently, assessing movements, and striking at the perfect moment. The venom quickly immobilizes the prey, allowing the snake to consume it without risk of injury. This technique reflects millions of years of evolution, showing that survival depends on both physical skill and environmental awareness, as well as strategic planning. The rhinoceros viper's reproduction is also noteworthy. Unlike many snakes that simply lay eggs and leave, this species can display partial parental care under certain environmental conditions. The hatchlings are born ready to survive independently, demonstrating predatory instincts and camouflage skills from an early age. This efficient reproductive cycle ensures the species maintains stable populations, even in habitats subject to environmental changes and human pressures. Ecologically, the rhinoceros viper plays crucial roles. By controlling populations of small mammals and birds, it helps maintain local ecosystem balance, preventing overpopulation that could damage vegetation and spread disease. Additionally, its presence indicates habitat health, as adaptable predator species tend to be sensitive to environmental imbalances and habitat degradation. Interestingly, the rhinoceros viper also draws cultural and scientific interest. In some regions, its unique appearance has inspired legends and stories, associating the snake with protection, strength, or hidden danger. Scientists study it not only for its venom, but also for its adaptive abilities and strategic behavior, which can offer insights into survival, camouflage, and evolution in reptiles. Despite its moderately potent venom, this snake is a reminder of nature's complexity. Small or discrete creatures can harbor extraordinary forces. Every detail of the rhinoceros viper, from skin texture to hunting patterns, environmental flexibility, and specialized venom, is the result of millions of years of evolution, making it a living example of the balance between beauty and danger. For attentive observers, the rhinoceros viper is not just a predator, but also a natural masterpiece. The combination of colors, textures, and behaviors creates an incredibly beautiful and complex creature, capable of inspiring respect and fascination. Studying it reveals much about evolutionary adaptation, survival in diverse ecosystems, and the delicate balance between predator and prey. In short, the rhinoceros viper is more than just a venomous snake. It represents resilience, adaptive intelligence, and natural elegance, showing that even the most feared beings can be instruments of ecological balance and valuable objects of scientific study. Learning about it means understanding how evolution combines form, function, and behavior in perfect harmony, transforming a simple snake into a true symbol of life's complexity on Earth. Number 3. The eastern tiger snake. There are some fascinating names for snakes out there, and the eastern tiger snake is one example. You can find it in Tasmania and Australia. Seriously, why do people still want to visit Australia with so many deadly creatures waiting for them? Yes, the eastern tiger snake has caused deaths in the past, although this isn't very common. Out of a series of 10 bites, only 4 resulted in death. However, it is possible to die if treatment is not received in time. When this happens, the venom can cause the victim to stop breathing or even result in complete paralysis. Why is it called the tiger snake? That's because of the stripes on its body, which resemble those of a tiger. Number 4. The Ringhals. In the case of the Ringhals, it's not exactly the venom itself that should worry you, but the way it can reach you. This is a special species of spitting cobra capable of projecting its venom up to 2.5 meters, 8 feet. This means you might not even see it before feeling the venom hitting your eyes. The good news is that its aim isn't perfect, so you might escape unharmed. Additionally, the Ringhals venom isn't known to be lethal, but can cause extreme pain, especially since the snake tends to aim for the victim's face and eyes. Also known as the ring-necked spitting cobra, this highly venomous snake is native to southern Africa. Unlike true cobras, it has keeled scales and can play dead when threatened. Its most famous attack is precisely the ability to spit venom into the eyes of predators, causing intense pain and temporary blindness. Its venom is primarily neurotoxic, affecting the nervous system, but it is less lethal than that of other spitting cobras. The Ringhals feeds on frogs, rodents, and small reptiles, is more active at night, and prefers living in grasslands and wetlands. Number 5. The saw-scaled viper. Maybe you thought snakes were dangerous only because of venom, but these vipers have another characteristic that makes them even more remarkable. They can rub their bodies to produce a shrill sound similar to a rattlesnake's rattle. If you hear a strange noise in nature in an area where these snakes live, it's best to turn around and leave. And if you're wondering, what if I only see the snake after hearing the sound? Well, these vipers hunt at night, which means they can approach silently and strike before you even realize it. The saw-scaled viper is found in North Africa, the Middle East, and the Indian subcontinent. Its rough, keeled scales produce that characteristic sound. This viper is fast, aggressive, and strikes without hesitation, making it one of the deadliest snakes in its habitat. Its hemotoxic venom can cause severe hemorrhaging, organ failure, and even death if not treated in time. Living in dry and rocky regions, it hunts only at night, feeding on rodents, lizards, and insects. Despite its small size, it is responsible for numerous deaths every year. Number 6. The puff adder. I've already talked a lot about African snakes on this list, so I'll get straight to the point and reveal the one most feared by Africans, the puff adder. It is responsible for the highest number of snakebite fatalities in Africa, a striking statistic considering the number of venomous snakes on the continent, yet this one tops the list. Why? There are several reasons. First, they are large snakes and carry a massive amount of venom. Second, they are widespread across Africa, meaning they are often near humans. Finally, depending on the amount of venom injected, without the antidote, survival chances can be as low as 50%. Number 7. Coastal taipan. Honestly, one might wonder why anyone would want to go to Australia, since the country is home to most of the world's deadliest snakes in high numbers, not to mention so many other creatures that could kill you in the blink of an eye. This time, I'm talking about the coastal taipan. It is the second longest venomous snake on the continent. As if that weren't a big enough problem, this species also ranks 3rd among the world's most venomous terrestrial snakes, behind only the inland taipan and the eastern brown snake. Australians reportedly fear this snake more than any other, and residents of Papua New Guinea also know to be wary, as it is present there too. Fortunately, there is an anti-venom for this species, which is great news given the number of confirmed victims. You definitely don't want to be the next name on the fatality list. And since this snake doesn't mind living in populated areas, there is a real possibility of encountering it face to face. Number 8. Eastern diamondback rattlesnake. Now we're talking about the eastern diamondback rattlesnake. While the lethality of the previous rattlesnake was debated, there's no doubt about this one. It is the largest rattlesnake in the Americas and one of the heaviest venomous snakes in its range. In the United States, it is responsible for many human deaths and tops the list of fatalities caused by snake bites. Some studies suggest that after being bitten, you have a 1 in 3 chance of dying, not encouraging. Moreover, the eastern diamondback has around 100 different toxins, making it difficult to treat one problem when there are 99 others that could kill you. Number 9. The death adder. I've already mentioned 2 extremely dangerous snakes that live in Australia, so why not talk about a third? Introducing the death adder. The name says it all, so clearly everything will be fine, right? An interesting detail about this snake is that unlike most venomous Australian snakes that actively hunt their prey, the death adder simply waits for prey to come close. I like this because it reduces the chance of it actively searching for you. The snake is so confident in its venom that after biting its prey, it just waits for it to die. It knows its venom will do the work, which is exactly why it can be so dangerous to people who happen to cross its path. Number 10. The Mojave rattlesnake. You undoubtedly know exactly what I'm talking about, even if you don't know the exact version of the snake I'm mentioning. These are the legendary and infamous snakes popularized in Western films and TV shows because of the literal rattle that forms on their tail. When you hear that sound, it's the only warning you'll get before it can strike and take you down for good. The irony about the Mojave rattlesnake is that there's a lot of debate about how deadly and dangerous the venom it produces actually is. There was a time when it was considered the most dangerous snake in America, but nowadays it's just one more extremely venomous snake among many others. Number 11. Eastern brown snake, Rankins. They're an easy benchmark for which creatures are the most deadly in the world, especially when it comes to venom. That said, the second spot on this list is something you should definitely fear: the eastern brown snake. It is currently considered the second most venomous snake in the world, behind only the inland taipan we mentioned earlier. That means its venom is still incredibly lethal, and you do not want it entering your system under any circumstances. If you don't believe me, ask an Australian. In Australia, the eastern brown snake is responsible for more human deaths than any other snake, even though the country also hosts the inland taipan, which has more potent venom. However, the eastern brown is much more likely to bite humans, making it more dangerous in practice. Part of the reason is that this snake is comfortable living close to populated areas, including some of Australia's largest cities like Melbourne and Sydney, so if you visit any of those places, always stay alert. Number 12. Russell's viper. Sometimes certain snakes are so prominent and lethal in a region that they become part of the local culture as a way to emphasize just how dangerous they are. In the case of Russell's viper, it ranks among the 4 most deadly snakes found in India. Let's focus on the power of its bite and venom, because both are considerable. The pain of the bite alone is extremely intense. Yet another reason never to get bitten by one. After the venom takes effect, it spreads through the body, causing a series of problems, including bleeding in areas where you should never bleed. The pain can last for weeks if not treated, and there is also the risk of kidney failure if anti-venom isn't administered. Death does not occur immediately. It can take up to 2 weeks after the bite. Now you can understand why people in India fear this snake so much. Number 13. The king cobra. Now we come to a snake that everyone knows to fear. Its imposing appearance is one reason many people recognize it. After all, the longest recorded individual measured 5.85 meters, 19.2 feet, making it the longest venomous snake in the world. Another interesting detail about this snake is that it is not afraid to hunt other snakes. In fact, it can be cannibalistic and may even prey on its own species. The king cobra is extremely territorial and is one of the few snake species that actually builds a nest above ground for its eggs. The female will stay there until the eggs hatch, being fierce and protective against anyone who dares approach. Regarding the lethality of the king cobra's venom, it's known that if a human or other animal is bitten, they have about 30 minutes to receive treatment. It's literally treated as a medical emergency because the venom spreads rapidly through the body, affecting many systems. So once again, avoid being bitten by this snake if you want to live much longer. Number 14. Bothrops asper. Now we have a snake with a rather sophisticated French-sounding name. Surely that means it's harmless and can't be among the deadliest on the list, right? Wrong. In fact, this snake is responsible for the greatest number of human deaths among all reptiles in the Americas. Sounds like a great snake, doesn't it? But why does it kill so efficiently? The answer lies in its venom, which is among the most potent around. Besides the large amount injected in each bite, for humans only 50 millirel of venom is enough to cause death. Bothrops asper, however, injects more than 105 millirem per bite, more than double the lethal dose. It's no wonder it has such a high victim count. The situation is even worse because, unlike many other snakes mentioned, this species lives in areas where humans work and live. It can be found in ditches, near forests, and even on farms where people work. If you're in Central or South America, it's best to be vigilant so you don't cross paths with this snake. Number 15. The banded krait in the wild. There are certain creatures that want you to know they're dangerous, so you'll stay away, and one of the easiest ways to do that is through conspicuous coloration that serves as a clear warning to predators. In the case of the banded krait, exactly that has happened. When you look at this snake, you'll notice a distinct striped pattern in blue and gold that stands out in nature. And yes, it wants all its enemies to know it carries a large quantity of venom. In fact, at over 2 meters, 6.6 feet long, it has one of the largest venom productions among its kind. If this snake bit you, you could experience a variety of symptoms including vomiting, abdominal pain, diarrhea, and dizziness. If you're lucky, if enough venom is injected, you could die from respiratory failure. The good news is twofold. First, there is anti-venom available if you are bitten. Second, this snake does not commonly come into contact with humans, so when it bites in self-defense, it doesn't always inject venom. Still, if you're in Asia where this snake lives, don't take chances. The mortality rate from bites is around 10%, so risks can vary. Number 16, the Malayan blue coral snake. Our next reptile is the Malayan blue coral snake, and it's definitely one of the most unique snakes on this list for several reasons. The first is simple. It has often been misidentified and misclassified since humans discovered it. Even today, some people aren't sure exactly what species this snake belongs to because juveniles can resemble other snakes. Regardless of appearance, which can be very striking, this snake must be taken seriously by both humans and other reptiles. If this sounds confusing, here's why. Despite being much smaller than many other snakes, rarely reaching 2 meters, 6.6 feet in length, the Malayan blue coral snake preys mainly on other snakes. Yes, its primary food source is other serpents. That's how it survives. Now let's talk about its venom. Like the other snakes on this list, it has an extremely potent venom, and it has a lot of it. While most snakes have small venom glands, this species has glands that extend for about a quarter of its body length. The venom itself contains a neurotoxin that causes near-instant paralysis by delaying the inactivation of sodium channels in the prey, and that, to be clear, is very dangerous. This specific effect has not been fully documented in humans, but the Malayan coral has killed people in the past. It may not happen frequently, but sometimes it does. Ironically, just like with other venomous creatures, people have studied this snake's venom to develop medicines. Although the venom can be fatal, when properly processed, it can also be used as medicine. That's why many people try to capture this type of snake. Its medicinal value can, in some cases, outweigh the risk of being bitten. That said, you should never take that risk on your own. Number 17, Boomslang. Continuing with the pattern we've been following, the boomslang is another snake whose main characteristic is the venom it carries. Its body is also something many scientists love to study due to its peculiar size and shape. For example, this snake can reach about 2 meters, 6.5 feet in length, and its head has been documented as having an egg-like shape. Another interesting feature is its coloration. Some are a combination of green and black, while others may be brown, usually depending on the snake's sex. As for the venom, things can get very specific. Some varieties of boomslang are harmless to humans because their fangs are located so far back in the mouth that they cannot penetrate human skin, preventing venom injection. However, others have no such limitation and are capable of injecting extremely potent venom into their prey, causing blood clotting, hemorrhages, and even cardiac arrest. This is the most venomous snake in South Africa. Fortunately, anti-venom is available, and most importantly, if you leave this snake alone, it will probably leave you alone. Most bites occur when people try to capture it, so avoiding that should keep you safe. Number 18, Black Mamba. This is one of the most famous snakes in the world, especially because the late legendary NBA player Kobe Bryant adopted its name as his nickname. The black mamba is another incredibly powerful snake when it comes to venom. Just 2 drops of its venom are enough to kill a human, and its fangs can hold up to 20 drops. Definitely not a good idea to anger one. Why is its venom so potent? It contains both neurotoxins and cardiotoxins. Part of it attacks the nervous system, while the rest attacks the heart. And in case you forgot, these 2 systems are essential for staying alive. If the bite is potent enough, it can be fatal. The worst part? While waiting for death, the victim suffers suffers a series of symptoms, including intense pain, blurred vision, slurred speech, and mental confusion. The good news is, there is an antidote. If administered in time, the person has a high chance of survival. Another advantage is that unlike the previous snake, the black mamba does not always inject venom with every bite. For it to be fatal, at least 2 drops must enter the victim. So if for some reason a black mamba doesn't inject enough venom, there's a chance of survival, even without anti-venom nearby. I'm not saying you should risk it, but the possibility exists. After all, death is not instant. It can take up to 15 hours for fatal effects to occur. Personally, I'd rather not suffer that long. Number 19, inland taipan. Now let's talk about a snake at the extreme opposite end of the spectrum. This is a much smaller snake, but compensates for its size with an incredibly powerful bite, the inland taipan. This is a snake you would pray never lives in your area. Why? Even though the inland taipan reaches only about 2.5 meters, 8.2 feet in length, its venom is among the deadliest in the world. Not even famous snakes like the king cobra or rattlesnakes can compare to the toxicity of this reptile. To give you an idea, when scientists tested its venom on human cells, they found it was the most toxic of all reptiles on the planet, a double indicator of how dangerous it is. Why is its venom so powerful? Part of the explanation is that this snake specializes in hunting mammals, which makes its venom extremely lethal to warm-blooded creatures. One bite contains enough venom to kill over 100 adult humans. Another concerning factor, the inland taipan is fast, agile, precise, and can bite multiple times in a single rapid attack. Most experts agree that it injects venom with each bite. Imagine accidentally stepping on one and having only a second to react before receiving a lethal dose. Not a pleasant thought. The good news? This snake isn't considered the most dangerous in the world due to its location and behavior. It lives in remote areas of Australia, so unless you go looking for it, a chance encounter is unlikely. Additionally, it is not aggressive and only attacks when provoked. Still, keep it in mind if you explore Australian wilderness. You'll thank me later. Number 20, green anaconda. Let's finish strong with the world's largest snake, the green anaconda. To be clear, when I say largest snake in the world, I'm not only talking about length, but the combination of length and mass. This is important because, while the green anaconda is the second longest snake in the world, it is by far the heaviest, so you definitely don't want to mess with this serpent. What exactly is the size and weight of this snake? Well, that's a difficult question because different sources report different measurements. One source claimed the largest recorded anaconda was 5.18 meters, 17 feet long. Meanwhile, a 2024 article showed a video of someone in the Amazon measuring an anaconda nearly 8 meters, 26 feet in length. Additionally, this individual reportedly weighed around 250 kilograms, 550 pounds. National Geographic said this was the largest and heaviest snake ever recorded. Experts still cannot agree on the true record, not to mention numerous anecdotal reports claiming sightings of anacondas over 10 meters, 33 feet long. Even considering only snakes around 6 to 7 meters, 20 to 23 feet. That's more than twice the length of an average or even tall human. Beyond its size, the green anaconda is notable for its strength. Instead of using venom to kill prey, it constricts its target until suffocation. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed our content, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Be sure to check out other interesting videos popping up on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one. See you next time.